Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Texas Rangers franchise here on MLB The Show 21 and the MSM Sports Network. Today we have the MLB debut for MacKenzie Gore, the former number 2 overall prospect in all of Major League Baseball. The Rangers are 2-2 after splitting the 4-game series with the Los Angeles Angels, and they take on the undefeated Houston Astros here in the 5th game of the season. The Astros swept through Minnesota in 4 relatively close games, but ultimately won all 4. MacKenzie Gore had an up-and-down spring training. He went 2-3 with a 6.39 ERA. Still, though, I feel really good about giving him the start today, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. As you see a couple of outs that he recorded in his final spring training start against the Chicago Cubs. MacKenzie gave up just 1 run in 4 innings of work. And like I said, I feel really confident about putting him in that number 5 spot. Here's a look at the starting lineups for today. You see Trevor Story red hot through the first 4 games. He's hitting over 500. Willie Calhoun off to a good start. And for the Astros, of course, it's the usual suspects, Jordan Alvarez, Alex Bregman. But crucially, the Astros do not have Carlos Correa nor Jose Altuve. So a new-look Stros team, and one of their new shortstop pieces, Freudis Nova, making his MLB debut today. Yanni Hernandez also making his debut for the Texas Rangers. He's starting over at third base. Josh James was on the mound for the Astros. He was 5-0 last season with an ERA just under 4. And James is a guy who's really looking to solidify a spot in the starting rotation for the Astros this year. As David Dahl takes the first pitch of the game back up the middle for a base hit. That would bring up Nick Solak. James, a fastball slider pitcher, and he's hung 2 fastballs. As Solak drives this one into the gap, it'll go all the way nearly to the garage doors. The Rangers decide to hold David Dahl with nobody out in the inning, and the Rangers had runners on second and third to start off the ballgame. It was Trevor Story who would dig in next, and I mentioned hitting over 500. Full count pitch here, jammed on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and Story can't do anything with his opportunity. There's 1 out in the inning. Willie Calhoun would be the next batter, and again, first pitch swinging, he'll drive this one out to shortstop. Nova gets his first big league chance, and he'll throw Calhoun out at first base. But Texas does score at least 1 run in the inning. It would bring up Nate Lowe, and on a 1-2 count, fastball misses inside as he tries to put the second Ranger run of the inning on the board. Texas has done a good job of capitalizing on runners in scoring position through the first 4 games, but they wouldn't be able to capitalize here as Lowe swings and misses at a high slider, and James able to work out of the inning despite giving up 2 hard hits. MacKenzie Gore on the mound, 6'3", 195 pounds, and as I've mentioned, he's actually 23, not 21. That's just a slight discrepancy that you're going to have to make based on a roster error. But the 23-year-old taking the mound for the first time in his big league career, facing the veteran Michael Brantley to start, and first pitch of his career fouled away into the crowd. 0-2 now the count on Brantley, and the pitch back to the mound, and Gore fielding his position. Very agile play from the southpaw, makes the first out of his career, and it would bring up Miles Straw. 1-2 count, well, he'll get his first major league punch out as well, as Straw goes up the ladder, swings and misses, and Gore has his first strikeout. He'll keep that baseball for his trophy case. Gore, a very good pitcher up in the zone, especially. He can get that 94, 95-mile-an-hour fastball to play. He also has really good breaking pitches to counter off of that. Next batter, Jordan Alvarez spikes this one into the turf, and it was a 3-up, 3-down inning for Gore to start his professional career. Speaking of starting MLB careers, it's Yanni Hernandez making his MLB debut today. The 1-0 pitch, he skies this one into center field with a runner on first base. And Hernandez 0 for 1 to start his debut. That was Adolis Garcia, by the way, that walked to start the inning. 2 outs now for Tyler Naquin trying to make something happen. Naquin's going the other way, and this one just over the head of the left fielder, Michael Brantley. Garcia into third base, and Tyler Naquin has runners in scoring position with a 2-out double. It would bring up the top of the lineup for David Dahl, who just got underneath a hanging changeup, and Texas will strand runners on second and third in the second inning. As Josh James off to a little bit of a shaky start, but only 1 run given up through 2. Back to Gore on the mound now, facing Kyle Tucker. He'll get another 3-up, 3-down inning here in the second, and it was 6 batters faced, 6 batters retired for the rookie left-hander heading to the third inning, as Texas, the only 3 hits on the board, producing the 1 run. Let's go to the bottom of the third now, and this one, a hard hit ball, a dive by Yanni Hernandez, but the recovery not going to be in time, and the Astros get their first base hit here in the third frame. It would bring up Alex DeGotti, who is taken over in the middle infield. He can play either shortstop or second for Correa and Altuve. He'll swing and miss at a fantastic curveball here from MacKenzie Gore, and with 1 out now, that would bring up Fredes Nova, making his MLB debut. He's flashed the leather in the field, trying to do it at the plate, but he'll send a line drive right out to Adolis Garcia, and 2 outs in the inning as Nova skies out. Michael Brantley now to the top of the lineup, and he'll hit this one off the tip of the bat. A weak roller out to Solak at second base, and despite 1 hit, MacKenzie Gore threw 3 scoreless. He's looking great in his MLB debut. Texas has been so close to adding insurance runs through the first 3 innings, and Nate Lowe would come to the plate. He struck out, of course, with a runner on third base back in the first inning, as Josh Jones tasked with facing the heart of the Ranger order here in the inning. And the very first pitch, Nate Lowe makes him pay. A fastball right down the middle, maybe on the inside part of the plate, and Lowe goes 418 feet away for his second big fly of the season. James has missed up in the zone with fastballs a couple of times, and Nate Lowe makes him pay as he gets to watch that one fly. Give you a look at the StatCast, 112 miles off the bat, and 418 feet as it doinks off the LED screen, separating the first 2 decks. So 2-0 Rangers to the bottom of the 4th inning. Yanni Hernandez hard charging on this ball, and he had to hurry, but the throw wide of the bag, saved by Lowe. It will be an E5 on the young infielders. Yanni just trying his best to make a play here, and unfortunately the throw just to the second base side of the bag. I don't know that he would have had him anyway, but it's counted an error nonetheless. Next pitch, though, is Yordan Alvarez. He grounds it softly to Solak, flips to short, and Trevor Story able to turn a twin killing. So Gore doing it his own way and gets a slow bouncer up the middle to erase the base runner. Very next pitch would be a soft line out to second base, and MacKenzie Gore threw 4 shutout innings in his MLB debut. Well, Tyler Naquin came to the plate in the top of the 5th. Rangers up 2-0. 2-2 count on the Rangers right fielder today. James fires a fastball, and this catches far too much of the plate. Tyler Naquin going deep out to right field as the Texas A&M Aggie has his first home run as a Texas Ranger, 389 feet off the bat. Not quite as deep as Nate Lowe, but it counts just the same. And Texas continues to hit the baseball well against the hard-throwing righty in Josh James. James was 5-0 a season ago, but that spotless record on the line here in 2022. You saw a 12-pitch at bat for David Dahl as he really worked the count, fouled off 6 pitches in a row, but would ultimately become the first casualty of the inning as James spots that fastball well and blows it by Dahl on the outside corner. How about Trevor Story? He's 0 for 2 today, 2-2 count here with 2 outs. He'll look at a curveball beneath the zone there. Willie Calhoun on deck. His Story trying to keep his average up near the 500 mark through 5 games. The pitch and a great fastball there. Spots it on the outside corner, and you see how effective that pitch can be if it's spotted well. Just froze Trevor Story, and shortstop's not able to pull the trigger. To the bottom of the fifth now, and MacKenzie Gore continues to roll along. He gets one out in the fifth before giving up a hard hit single here to Kyle Tucker. You see his line just through 4 1/3, only 2 hits allowed. He's also got 2 strikeouts. It's an 0-2 count now here on Yan Gomes, the Astros backstop. And the pitch line down to first base. This one gets through, and it's going to go to the right field corner. Naquin up with the ball, and now the Astros are in a bit of a pickle. The relay to second base, it is going to be in plenty of time to get Kyle Tucker as he dove back to the first base bag, thinking this was going to be caught, and the Rangers team up to gun him out at third base as you get a couple of looks at the tag, the throw beating Tucker by a mile. And here's another look at it from down the line. You see Kyle Tucker thought this was going to be caught by Nate Lowe, but it goes just over his glove, and instead he's a base running casualty. That would be huge, as the next batter in Alex DeGotti would go high off the Crawford boxes. It would get the first run of the game home for the Astros, but it only accounts for 1, as Tucker not on third base. And what could have been the tying run at second base with 1 out is now a second run with 2 outs, and Freudis Nova will ground out to first base to end the threat. So the Astros do get a run on the board, but they don't capitalize in the way that they maybe could have. Well, the Astros went to Blake Taylor on the mound here in the 6th inning, trailing 3-1, and Willie Calhoun greeted the southpaw with a 2-0 count in the top of the 6th. Taylor leaves another fastball over the heart of the plate, and Willie Calhoun turns it into a souvenir. Deep into the Astros bullpen, and the Texas Rangers have another home run, their 3rd of the afternoon, all 3 coming from left-handed batters, and Texas gets that run right back, making it 4-1. As you get a look at the replay, Taylor just a hanging fastball, and Willie Calhoun, one of the best in the bigs at turning those into home runs. Texas a 4-1 lead into the bottom of the 6th as MacKenzie Gore still going strong. His offense has given him plenty of runs, and he has in turn produced one heck of an outing. This one blooped out into center field. It's Michael Brantley, a Texas leaguer base hit, just the 4th of the afternoon for the Astros, and it would put the tying run on deck as Yordan Alvarez came to the plate. He was 0 for 2 with 2 weak ground outs so far today, swinging and missing at that pitch, and it's 0-1 as Gore working away with the soft stuff, gets him to foul this one off down the line. Alvarez in the hole, 0-2 as Gore looking for the high fastball, and he froze him. Alvarez caught looking for a breaking ball outside, and Gore paints the corner with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That's the danger of facing a guy like MacKenzie Gore. He can paint the corners. He can also work you away with those breaking balls, and 2 outs now. Great play here by Trevor Story at shortstop, and the Rangers through 6 innings with their rookie on the mound, still 4-1. 2-0 count here to David Dahl. Dahl gives this one a whack. High and deep towards the right field foul pole. It is just foul as it misses being fair by 2.5 feet. In the very next pitch, Dahl rung up on a ball that was not even touching the strike zone. Nothing really you can do about that if you're David Dahl. To the 7th inning now, Garrett Cooper the batter, and he's caught looking at a fastball that paints the corner. 95 on the upper 90, and Cooper asking the umpire where exactly that was. 1-2 count now here on Kyle Tucker, and he's caught looking. The Astros have looked at strike 3 in 3 consecutive batters, and the Rangers 1 out away from getting out of the 7th inning. Yan Gomes would oblige as he grounds out to first base. 7 strong innings from MacKenzie Gore, and that would be the end of his days. His final line, 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. He was sensational in his MLB debut. Nick Solak going to give the Rangers more insurance here as he goes off Blake Taylor into the Crawford boxes. Texas pounding Astro pitching tonight. 4 solo home runs as Solak becomes the first right-handed batter to do it. Jay Valdez loves what he's seeing from his team tonight, and this was just a laser beam. through the Crawford boxes and into the concourse. And that would bring up Nate Lowe. He's already 1 for 3 with a home run. I think you might feel where this is going. His first pitch to his at-bat, and another hanger. This is a slider right down Broadway, and Lowe basically hits the exact same area of the LED scoreboard that he hit earlier. A hanging slider from Nate Stanek this time, and the Rangers have hit 5 home runs tonight. 112 miles an hour off the bat, and the Rangers would turn it over to Kendall Graveman now with a 5-run lead in the 8th. Graveman, hard contact, but able to get the first out of the inning on a line drive. And you'll get to see the final line here for MacKenzie Gore. So he gets to relax, a hard-earned win on the line if the Rangers can hold this lead. 5 strikeouts for the rookie, as well as Graveman back with 2 outs here, and a hard hit ball down the line. That's a fair ball. Calhoun into the corner, fields it. Brantley feeling frisky. He's headed on his way to second. The throw in time. Brantley gunned down at second base, trying to make something happen, and we go to the 9th inning. Texas with a successful 5-run lead, and it would be Jonathan Hernandez on the hill to close this one out. Obviously, his first appearance of the season against the Angels didn't go the way that he wanted. A chance to redeem himself here, and he'll get Yordan Alvarez to ground out weakly for the second out of the inning. Alvarez 0 for 4 tonight with 3 ground outs and a strikeout looking. Final batter of the ball game, and this is an easy ground out as Alex Bregman rolls this one over, and the Texas Rangers secure the win over the Houston Astros. The Astros are undefeated no more, and Texas improves to 3-2. They have a winning record for the second time this season. Texas gets their rookie pitcher MacKenzie Gore a win in his MLB debut, and they hit 5 home runs to boot, as Nate Lowe takes player of the game honors, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs to his credit. The Rangers 6 runs on 10 hits. The Astros 1 run on 7 hits. As you get a look at the box score, we hit the ball pretty well today. Obviously, 5 of those 10 hits left the yard. That is something that I certainly hope continues, as this Rangers squad is one of the best offensive units in the American League. Well, in the next episode, we're going to simulate ahead just a little bit, and we'll see where we end up. I haven't totally decided where we're going to resume play, but it may be a couple of days before I get another episode out, just due to my travel schedule. But I will be back, and we will have more Texas Rangers baseball on the franchise coming soon. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode. Until next time, so long, everybody.